Twitter, Facebook, and Netflix moguls have donated $7.5 million to Marxist BLM co-founder who is pushing their net neutrality policy as their tech firms block users sharing critical stories about her. Wow. So they are acting as a publisher. Report reveals $7.5 million in donations from moguls to groups tied to Cullors. Twitter CEO Jack Dorsey, Facebook co-founder and wife of Netflix CEO all gave money. Cullors in turn spoke out in favor of content giants' pet policy goals. Facebook and Twitter are also quick to censor perceived criticism of Cullors. Interesting. Everyone sells out for the money. Even the most ardent communist, as I've joked before. Funny to see these phony communists here on YouTube. These phony Marxists on YouTube and on other platforms as well. Soliciting donations. Patreon, Subscribestar, Super Chat. Ha ha ha. Hypocrites and grifters, baby. Woo! Gotta love it. But it's easy money because anybody that would follow these idiots, they're even dumber. How are you going to donate money to it? I love it. Tech moguls who made their fortunes from Facebook, Twitter, and Netflix have donated at least $7.5 million to groups tied to BLM co-founder Patrisse Cullors, like we read about above there, which now possibly explains where that cash came from. I'm not hating on her. Get that cash. I'm trying to get my cash. Hopefully you all are getting yours as well and doing well, but we have morality. People sell theirs out all too often. Everybody has a price. That's what the $1 Million Man used to say, right? Do you have a price? Do I have a price? Hopefully not. I think I'm all right. Everyone has a price in which they become a tool of the system. Twitter CEO Jack Dorsey, Facebook co-founder Dustin Moskovitz, and Patricia Ann Quinlan, the wife of Netflix's billionaire CEO, all gave generously to Cullors PAC and associated charities, according to the New York Post. Cullors, for her part, has strongly advocated for net neutrality, a policy that financially benefits online content providers such as Netflix and social media sites. And the cozy relationship has even seen Facebook and Twitter censor perceived criticism of Cullors, with Facebook going so far as to block users from sharing a dailymail.com article detailing a controversy over her expensive real estate holdings. And that happened. They squashed the story. What is that? What is that thing? That must be her queen activation button. You push that thing and she turns into super queen mode. This guy right here. Yeah, you know. Of the donors named by the Post, Moskovitz and his wife, Kari Tuna. Is her name really Kari? Maybe it's Carrie. Is her last name really Tuna? You're telling me that somebody out there has a last name Tuna? Okay. Have given most generously, donating more than $1.5 million from 2017 to 2020. I've told you the grift. You know how to grift. If you're ever destitute and down to your last nickel, regardless of what your race or ethnicity is, follow this path here. It's the easiest way to money. The stuff I'm doing? No, that's not the easy way to money. The stuff that other individuals are doing, talking about certain things that do it far better than I do, that's not the easy way to money. This is the easy way to money right here. Follow their lead. Moskovitz, 36, was one of the co-founders of Facebook. He left the company in 2008, but retained a 2% stake that puts his net worth at nearly $20 billion. His donations went to Dignity and Power Now, a nonprofit started by Cullors, and Reform LA Jails, a California PAC she co-founded to lobby for civilian oversight of the Los Angeles Sheriff's Department. Dorsey, who has an estimated net worth of $14 billion, chipped in $1.5 million last year through his Start Small philanthropy initiative. That money went to BLM and the Movement for Black Lives, a coalition of activist groups founded by Cullors. Nonprofit, though. I wonder what her salary is. Great to form a nonprofit and give myself, what, $1 million, $2 million, $3 million in salary per year? Buy me a bunch of homes. Not saying that's what she did, but if I didn't have any morality or dignity, maybe that's what I would do. Quinlan, the wife of Netflix billionaire Reed Hastings, donated $250,000 to reform LA jails in 2020. I'm surprised Patrisse even picks up the phone for only $250,000, given that they got 1.5 here, 5.5 here. Patrisse, come on, girl. You're big time now. You shouldn't even answer the phone if somebody's only offering $250. Need another zero in there. Cullors' own finances are entwined, to a degree, with Reform LA jails, which in 2019 paid $110,000 in consulting fees to a company controlled by her and her wife, Janaya Khan, according to the Post. Interesting. There are no rules prohibiting officers of California PAC from paying themselves or family members for consulting services. I wonder how many people she has on the payroll. I wonder if this wife of hers, Khan, is on the payroll as well. In 2015, she described herself as a trained Marxist, and last December elaborated on her views, saying, "I do believe in Marxism. I'm working on making sure that people don't suffer. I'm working to make sure people don't go hungry," she explained in a YouTube video. Whew. If you've seen her, you know that she's not going hungry. And I was joking about that in my previous video I did on her about a week or two ago, where several years ago they had a photo of her and she was a little more slender. And then, currently, definitely, all of those donations are providing for some nice steak dinners because, as I said, she does not look like she's going hungry. Over the years, Cullors has been vocal in her support of net neutrality, a policy that is strongly favored by content giants and decried by internet service providers. Net neutrality prohibits service providers from charging companies, such as Netflix, for the vast amounts of data they send through the networks. That's what it's always all about, right? The policy does not put neutrality requirements on content providers, such as Twitter and Facebook, who are given broad immunity in deciding what posts are allowed on their platforms. Publisher! In 2014, Cullors penned an op-ed for The Hill, writing that black online voices are threatened by proposals to repeal net neutrality. It is because of net neutrality rules that the internet is the only communication channel left where black voices can speak and be heard, produce, and consume on our own terms, she wrote. Now, perhaps that was the case in 2014, but if black voices, and all voices, or many voices as you know, if they don't speak, produce, and consume on Facebook's terms, on Twitter's terms, on YouTube's terms, not on their own terms, you know that. You know out there if you're getting shadow banned, you know what I'm talking about. You have to produce on their terms, by and large. I'm not saying that everybody who says things in disagreement gets vaporized just like that, because I'm always out here talking smack about these idiots and I'm still around on various platforms. But there are some individuals out there that once their name gets too big and once they get too much recognition, they get vaporized. They can't do it on their own terms. They have to do it on the terms of the provider, Netflix, YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, etc. Oh, they're a private company. They can do what they want. Like I said before, why would you want to live in a society where people can dictate to you? How much of a coward, how much of a pussy? To where you would want to live in a society that oppresses people just because they have an opinion you don't agree with. You're a pussy. They talk about her finances coming under scrutiny in recent weeks, all of that stuff that we know about. They talked about Jason Whitlock, who called her out, and he was the one that was censored. Look at this comment. I didn't see that because I talked about him before. Whitlock, who is black. They keep saying it. They keep saying he is black. Why does that matter? He's just a dude like you and me. Stop identifying that man strictly by his color of skin. But check this out. When she bought the homes, he says she's with her people. There's a ton of white people there. That's not what he means. He means rich people. BLM is one of big tech's sacred cows, he told the Daily Mail at the time. I've been harping on the fraudulence and the financial grift of BLM for years. The AP reported last month that the Black Lives Matter Global Network brought in $90 million in donations last year, but the group says that it had paid Cullors only $120,000 since the organization's inception in 2013, and that she did not receive any compensation after 2019, which is what I was questioning was, okay, if that's true, then where's the money coming from? She's saying that it came from her work. It looks like they actually have her as a professor at Arizona's Prescott College. Not familiar with it. And in October 2020, she signed a sweeping deal with Warner Brothers. So it's possible, based on all of these things we're hearing here, that she's not drawing money out of BLM. That these PACs that she set up, she's using those to create wealth for herself and for her loved ones. And the deal, of course, with Warner Brothers. It's possible. Patrisse Cullors, everyone, getting in bed with big tech. For those of you who are on the BLM tip, you're riding the D, you're probably white, and enjoying how that black D slides up in you as they're bending you over, you have to at least acknowledge, and you can separate the two, right? You have to at least acknowledge that she's full of shit, and that these big tech companies are full of shit as well. They may be doing things you want in terms of who they suppress, but you have to at least know that they're phonies. You're just on their team, so you're rooting for them. Just be honest with yourself. That's all I ask. Take care, everyone. Thanks for watching. Be well.